Okay, so question number one is, in your role, how much does return on investment influence your program? Content, staffing, capabilities, etc. Regina, could I throw this one over to you, please, first?
Sure, I'd be happy to start. First of all, when you talk about return on investment, I think it's first of all very helpful to look at the definition of what ROI means. The traditional definition actually measures the amount of return relative to the cost that you've actually incurred. But then when you think about business continuity, how do you do ROI? And I think it's a really important question. If you haven't had an activation of any of your plans recently, and it's very likely that you haven't, how do you talk about how much money you've saved the business or what you've been able to contribute in our traditional role? You could extrapolate, gee, if this happened, how helpful we would have been or how much money we would have saved the company. But I think we need to actually turn this into a different question in some ways. And I'd be inclined to really shift the question, just as Andrew has been talking about, from ROI in that traditional definition to value. What value do we provide the business? And as we talk through all these questions, I'll be touching back on this particular topic because I think it's one of the most critical ones business continuity planners around the world face, which is show me the value of what you provide the company on a daily basis. Because if all you ever say to your boss is, when the bad thing happens, you'll be really glad you have me, that's not a good reply to what are you doing for us.
Regina, that's really insightful. Matt, could I get your thoughts on that question, please?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. So one of the things that to add to what Regina mentioned is you know, out of the hundreds of clients that I've dealt with over the years, it's always important to make sure that you demonstrate the value. And sometimes it's not as easy as saying, hey, it's an insurance policy, and that's what a lot of people think of these types of programs. So one of the things you really want to focus on, and we'll talk as we go through this, is really what other things could we potentially be utilizing this for? Because sometimes, you know, people just need to see and really be able to really touch almost physically a tangible thing of how do I get that return on investment. So I think as we go through this, we can talk about some of the other ways that you can utilize you know, these types of programs out there. In terms of it help really demonstrate the value and even put some dollar figures to it and really make that value, as Regina mentioned, really top-notch and a key focus for everybody.
Wow, good stuff. And David, what's your take on this?
Well, if I could just build on what Matt and Regina are saying, I think most of us find that the company has a strategy and it has objectives. And for me, absolutely key is to show how business continuity enables the company or the organization to achieve its objectives. So if we've got a good idea of what the objectives are, we can demonstrate that we're enabling something to happen. That in itself is not strictly, as Regina said, delivering return on investment quantified, but it is demonstrating value. And that's what I found is one way to view this.
Yeah, that's very, very insightful. I think the key takeaway there is really talking about the demonstration of value when we talk about return on investment.